So this is the first time that I've done a voice overlay to a video. So not sure how it's going to go, but let's just get into it. So I checked out this new game. It came out on July 31st called BattleGroup VR. I haven't seen much, promotion prior to it. It literally popped up into my Steam, and most of you guys know I've been playing a lot of Star Citizen, a lot of simulation games, and it seemed right down our alley. So the idea of BattleGroup is a galactic space battle simulator game. I'm not sure what other way to put it. Basically, you got big battleships, you have your own fleet that you build up, you upgrade, and you go and attack other people. You might have specific objectives to where you have to defend somebody, or attack them, or rescue. Who knows? I played this game for about 2 hours, and I was generally pretty impressed with the game. My first impressions is the graphics are really, really good. The mechanics are very clean. Those are the first two things that I really look for in a VR game, because there's so much trash VR games out there that the first two things that I notice in trash VR games, the graphics suck and the mechanics are horrible. I didn't get the sense with BattleGroup that had either one of these things. You can tell that a lot more polishing needs to be done in certain areas, but for a baseline, early release game, it's pretty damn good. And so basically the idea is, I was playing with the Valve Index, I looked at the performance metrics of my gaming PC, and it run pretty good. On the streaming recording PC, it produced pretty good content. But a few things is, you go through a very basic tutorial when you start the game, and it was pretty decent, kind of telling you the basics of what to do. But one thing I did notice is I would say I got a little bit into the game, let's say like 30 minutes into the game, and I was already kind of lost. I think their tutorial needs to be in a battle scenario to point out all the functionality within the ship as you're trying to execute it, versus having to memorize a lot of stuff from the forefront. And then, basically it just took me a while to just figure out how to do everything in the middle of battle. I still don't think I really fully understand all the quirks, but that would be my recommendation to the dev team, is if they do something to basically create a tutorial along the way in just like one battle scenario, so I have it locked into memory. But it wasn't horribly too difficult to learn all the things. But one thing I noticed later on in the as I progressed harder missions, my fleet was bigger. I noticed I wasn't doing enough damage. Now I did see where you could upgrade parts in your ship, and I didn't see where all those parts were. And I was looking everywhere for them. I didn't see them. Maybe it's not in the game yet, or maybe I didn't unlock them. But there was some sort of break in the connection of, here I'm progressing through the story, the ships are getting harder that I'm fighting, and I was upgrading some things in my ship, but I upgraded just the turrets that I already had, didn't see the chance to swap anything out, and I'd be stuck firing on a battleship for, like 15 minutes. So I was getting pretty, it was kind of a dull moment, because I'm just kind of sitting there, I move my ship around, and I see I'm taking damage, they're taking damage. So I don't know what mitigation point of that gameplay they can either fix or lubricate or whatever, but it was, I would like to see, maybe more, more missiles, more lasers, more, something more that I could deploy. In the previous ship that you saw, I had I could deploy some fighters, and I think I had a laser, but that was about it. So it does look like they plan on putting a lot more into the arsenal there. So I don't think that they have any, limited vision on where to take this thing. But this is pretty cool. So right now you're seeing I have, I bought another ship. So you start with one ship. I, completed a series of missions. I, bought a second. Now I'm getting another captain. And I don't really see much of a difference between all the captains from what I remember. You can inspect each one, and you see that there's a little rank, and the rank is directly correlated to, how much damage they might produce this ship. And now actually talking about it, maybe I need to look back at the captains and swap out captains, because they do dictate some of the damage of the ship. That wasn't very noticeable if that is the case, but I'm willing to go back and see if that was a missing element there.
Vindicator.
But pretty cool, and you can actually swap between each ship. So let's say you're on one ship and that's a flagship. Then another ship is engaging with another fleet, or maybe they have a different position. You want to do some specific things. Then you can actually swap over and command that ship versus the other. I like that feature a lot, because if these battles do drag on for quite a while and there's a lot of strategy, then it's similar to if you play a traditional RTS like a Warcraft or a Starcraft, that you can do first person on each individual unit. Obviously that's not in either one of those games, but that'd be pretty cool if you can go into each individual unit, like let's say StarCraft, you get into Marine, and then with your skill within that Marine, you could do a lot more damage. That would be cool. So I've always looked for that in RTS, and this one gives, one of the few games out there that does give that. The other thing that's really interesting, so when you look at this map, you're going to interact with this map more than anything. I found myself heads down into the map, moving my ships around, making sure that they're attacking equally on shields on the left and the right and behind, all of that, because I always try to do like a pincer move, as you can see there. But I can make that map a lot bigger to where the ships are the size of my head, and I can have a better view there. But it was a little distracting from looking outside my ship into the battle. I'm not sure how many clips I have of that, of where you can see, you just kind of gaze upon your turrets firing at enemy ships. That was pretty interesting. There you go. You can see me actually zooming in there. Very cool feature, but it's a three-dimensional map, which I love too. So usually these games you might be on a 2D plane, right, or like a preset pathway, or preset pathfinding. But I learned pretty quickly that you can't work on a 2D plane, because your turrets might be on the top of your ship, so you need to maneuver your ship below another ship, or just three-dimensional maneuvering, basically, right? So that was a really cool feature. The radar system is pretty cool. You have no idea who's on the battlefield unless if they get into that outer orange ring. It's pretty nifty. There was another cool system that if one of your other ships dies, that you have to go rescue the captain, because you've invested, time and money into making another captain of another ship, or commander, whatever the official designation is. You'd have to go rescue them. So you want to keep your ship formations pretty tight, but however, your ships are slow as shit. So if they die, then you gotta haul ass to go and save them. And I think there's only like 10 seconds, but it takes like 30 seconds just to turn a ship. It may be longer, I don't know. But so everything I've seen, maybe you can use a smaller ship, right? I'm only using like big capital ships, so maybe that's an idea that I didn't bring up. I didn't explore having a smaller ship in case someone dies. I could just quickly go and zip over there and snatch them. But when they're dead, they're dead. There's no bringing them back. I learned that the hard way. But I'm really excited to see what is coming more with this game. I understand there's a co-op. That'd be really cool if you had multiple people in different ships, commanding different areas of the RTS, and then depending on how they develop on this game and make it scale, you can have some pretty cool battles. Watching this in two-dimensional, not in virtual reality, doesn't do the game justice either. You have great visibility in front of your windshield. Some of the explosions are really neat when you see these ships explode. When they improve on some of the graphics there, it's going to be very cool, and really excited to see the game. I'm going to keep a close eye on this game and its development, look at the updates, how fast they're developing on it, and they'll, based on that, they'll keep on having me back and making these videos and seeing what new functionality they have. But joining their Discord pretty soon. That seems like the main point of contact for these guys. And I'm curious to pick their brain on where they want to go with their roadmap. But I'd give this a solid rating of, in the whole world of VR games, let's say like a 7 out of 10. Just have an experience. It's unique, it's fresh, and it's awesome. So be sure to watch my Twitch channel. I'm live every day, and hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like and a comment below. And I also deploy daily content on all social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Adios, guys.